Episode 2. Well, hello and welcome back to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Thomas and I'm joined by...
Paul.
And we're watching Terror of the Autons, Episode 2. We enjoyed part 1, didn't we?
Yeah, nice little start.
With the Master introducing that key villain into the Doctor Who canon.
Certainly post-hypnotic alienation.
She's been hypnotized.
Of course. Why else do you think she'd try to blow us all to pieces? Come on, my dear. Come and sit down over here. Get a chair. Yes.
Shows the intelligence of the Doctor, doesn't it? Like, I feel like most people in that room would just assume that
Under hypnosis, it was
she
impossible.
was just trying to blow them to pieces, but you can see that there's something else going on.
That was against his nature?
Now, to the untrained eye, it might look like that's just a chair inflating.
Right.
But it's special plastic.
Yeah. Love the sound design.
Great enough. So, you're a magician as well as a colonel, eh?
It's the first time he's seen a Lilo.
That's as maybe, but
There are more things in this universe jumped off in your philosophy.
You're a genius as well as a magician.
I'll tell you that for nothing. Sure, it looks like
I quite like the Doctor's lab here. Because he had a lab in one of the other stories, didn't he?
Yes.
Alone. Something may pop up.
I like the little spiral staircase.
They're really leaning into the CSO in this, aren't they?
Hmm. Oh. That is fascinating.
Well, that's clearly not stock footage, so maybe they did film it all.
Phillips. Professor Phillips.
Yeah.
Sorry, pal, never seen you.
Ah, isn't he, wasn't he in Tomb of the Cybermen?
Oh, I think he was, yeah.
What was he called? Toberman.
Very good,
I was gonna,
yeah.
because I was thinking Toblerone.
Yeah, the guy who gets electrocuted at the end.
Yeah.
That was a good story, actually.
I think that window behind them is from the TV series Play School. Or was it Playhouse? Playhouse?
How would you know that?
I read it.
Nice. I was gonna say, I thought you just recognised it. But like, it's the same
They used to
one.
go, through a different type of window. Let's have a look through the square window.
Ah. Oh, there we go.
Floella Benjamin? Was she the presenter? I don't know. More CSO, like, just
Yeah.
why not just film her? Like, it just doesn't work.
That is kind of weird, isn't it? This dude is crazy. I kind of like how they've done that.
I mean, obviously it looks like a rubber suit, but it's kind of okay because it's supposed to be made of plastic, so you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah. It's quite impressive how they've made it look.
Why have they CSO'd a kitchen behind her? Like,
Yeah, that was
go
weird.
back. I just want to see that shot again. How
That
terrible
was-
is this shot? Like, just you watch this shot of when she turns around. It's a split-second shot. It's awful. Like, what were they thinking? Why not just put her in a kitchen? Like, just
It's like, The Room, the worst film ever made.
yeah.
Had a green screened, like, just a view from the top of a building. Yeah. Just a head. Another quarry.
Classic quarry.
Can I see your warrant card?
Oh. Oh, what a great ending.
There we go.
That's my highlight, I reckon, that reveal. That was
Yeah.
quite scary. Because it was like, it's a face, but a more, like a really simple face underneath. It's like, oh, plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think because these Autons are much more. They have less features, I think, than the
Yeah.
previous ones. I think the previous ones, to me, are slightly more sinister.
Interesting. Yeah.
I can't quite put my finger on what it is about them, but these ones are good as well. That reminds me a little bit of obviously it comes after, but like in Mission Impossible, where they're constantly
Oh yeah.
taking the masks off, their faces beneath.
I love that how the suspension of disbelief was like because those masks that they make for them, they appear to change their height and voice as well.
Yeah, yeah,
But no, it's great.
yeah. Well, yeah. So what do you make of that one? Halfway through now.
Yeah, again, it's it feels like it's sort of doing the slow brooding thing that we've seen so far in the Pertwee era, but I quite like it. It kind of there's a mystery, there's a plot, kind of conspiracy type thing, and the Doctor's kind of gradually figuring it out. It was good to see a bit more Josephine there. Feels like they're bonding through the struggle, and it was good to see her non-hypnotized. So yeah, again, I don't really know where it's heading, which is a good thing. But yeah, enjoying it so far. What about you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I suppose you're right. It is a bit of a slow burn in some ways, isn't it? Because we still haven't really got into the nitty gritty of the plan. What is the Master's plan exactly? So it's all kind of build up, isn't it? And we haven't had the Master and the Doctor. They've not met yet.
Yeah.
Have they? But there's been lots of good kind of moments in this, haven't there? So there's a couple of scenes in there, like the guy being crushed to death in the chair or being suffocated in the chair, and the scene with the doll, in the house.
Yeah, I like that. Apart from, as you say, the kitchen.
The kitchen scene, the security kitchen. That's what they need.
Take him to the security kitchen.
What is it with Doctor Who and kitchens? But those are two scenes which kind of, when you watch Doctor Who documentaries and stuff, those things will feature. They're kind of scenes that have obviously resonated with people in some way and stuck in their minds. So they're quite iconic. I think particularly the chair scene is one that stands out often for people. It's kind of, I suppose it's kind of like this story's. It's a bit like there's the Autons coming through the glass. It's kind of this story's version of that in some ways. Having a scene that kind of makes you go, oh wow, that's quite sinister, because it is quite, the idea of being like suffocated by something like that and not being able to get out of it, being swamped by it. It's a bit like, that sense of like when you see like in a film where someone falls into the water but they fall on top of like the pool cover.
Yes.
And they can't get out of the pool cover because it's just swamping them, and they're trying to not drown and stuff like that, or someone parachutes into the ocean and gets caught in the parachute.
That's what we put over you sometimes, isn't it? The pool cover.
Yeah. People have commented that I'm much easier to engage with if they don't have to look at me. So.
Oh really? That's
Yes, but they're just a bunch of jackanapes. So.
Yes.
But no, I think it's a solid episode, and I quite enjoy that little bit of the Doctor's quite. We've mentioned it with just getting into the things he says there. Again, he had a bit of banter with the Brigadier, didn't he, as well at one point, which was quite amusing. And then when he said, "Oh, what's his name? None of your business." You go, "That's his funny name." Just sort of leaning into quite a savage and sarcastic Doctor who doesn't have any time. Yeah, I quite like it. So, where are you on sort of Pertwee then, interestingly now? Because obviously we've done a whole season, and obviously we're into another one now. So I'm not sure we've really talked about that.
Yeah, I really like him actually. I think he's just a very strong screen presence. I think the one thing I haven't seen from him yet is emotion, which I know we didn't get as in like, I guess, sadness. Because he has done a huge range of in his acting so far. That's not what I'm saying, but I guess with Hartnell, there were a few emotional farewells. With Troughton, there were a few kind of tender conversations.
Yeah.
And maybe it's part of Pertwee's character as the Doctor that he is a bit more clenched, and he kind of bottles it up a bit more, and maybe at some point we'll see him kind of break down a bit, or I don't know, I just quite like that in a Doctor, kind of vulnerability. I'm not saying it has to have it, but I'm just intrigued as to when will he have a moment where it kind of hits him, or where he suffers some kind of big loss, where we kind of really see him struggle with that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Be interesting to keep an eye out for moments like that. Yeah, because you're right. I don't think he has any. He's had moments of that nature, particularly, has he, in anything so far? So yeah, we'll see kind of where that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But no, I like him. He's a lot of fun to be with, and I think the dapper kind of outfits help, and that just the great put downs, as you say, the sarcasm. He's a good foil for the Brigadier.
yes, definitely. They work very well together. They're a great little duo in that sense. You're right though. He's a very much a presence on screen, and he's very different to Troughton, isn't he? That Troughton was often in lots of stories and situations, he's often overlooked, isn't he, as being like an idiot, and he plays up to that sometimes, doesn't he? Like he doesn't know anything. Whereas you certainly don't get that with Pertwee's Doctor. Pertwee's Doctor is the one who comes in as in charge, and he wants you to know he's in charge.
Yeah, you get a sense that he'd be kind of miffed if people thought he was an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely. So he comes in with an authority, and Troughton had an authority as well, but it was a different kind of authority. It was done in a different way. Whereas Pertwee is much more straight down the line, and I think it works actually. And I'm enjoying watching his stuff again to get a sense of it. I don't think I've necessarily watched some for a while, so to remember or get a better feel again for what his Doctor is like is quite good fun, and I'm quite enjoying his portrayal at the moment. So
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's just good television. It's settled into a real groove, I think, where we haven't really had for a while any stories where I've thought, oh, that completely like missed the mark. Like that just didn't work at all. I mean,
that's true.
Not to say they've all been, phenomenal, but they've all been solid, I'd say. Like, haven't put any major foots wrong.
No, we haven't had anything where we felt we were really struggling to get through them.
Yeah. I know some people weren't huge fans of Ambassadors of Death, but I think that story actually had a lot going for it.
And a few people said about Ambassador's Death that actually maybe it's because of the strength of everything around it that
Right. Yeah.
relative to that, people sometimes find it harder work. But when you do watch it, actually it's very strong in its own right, I think. So
Yeah.
anyway, why don't people let us know? Let us know what you think about this story and some of the bits we've been discussing down in the comments. And you can join us for more Doctor Who discussion on our Discord server. You can find a link for that in the description. And that's free to join. Just follow the link and come on board if you'd like to chat more. Otherwise, we'll see you again soon for episode 3. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.